Hybrid rice. About this course, hybrid rice technology is likely to play a pivotal role in increasing the rice production. During the year 2009, hybrid rice was planted in an area of 1.3 million hectare and an additional rice of 1.5 to 2.5 metric ton was added to our food basket through this technology. This innovative and promising technology is expected to contribute significantly towards the food security of the country in the years to come. Awareness about various aspects of this innovative technology is limited among the rice farmers and general public. In this e-learning module on hybrid rice, the various aspects of hybrid rice technology are explained in a brief and crispy manner so that it can be understood in easy and simple way. This module is grouped under 4 modules, namely General, Hybrid Rice Cultivation, Seed Production and Grain Quality. It is hoped that this module will be useful in creating the awareness and in providing answers to many basic questions on hybrid rice. Module number 1, General. Objectives. At the end of this module, we will understand what is hybrid rice, the pioneering country in hybrid rice research, hybrid rice research network in our country, rice hybrids released in our country, genetic system of developing rice hybrids, area under hybrid rice in our country. Lesson 1. Hybrid rice in general. Hybrid rice is first generation F1 crop grown from the seed obtained by crossing 2 genetically different rice varieties. Hybrids give higher yield than varieties due to the phenomenon called heterosis or hybrid vigor. Hybrids combine desirable features of both the parents and exhibit higher magnitude of these features, including yield as compared to the parental lines. Hybrid vigor also imparts better adaptability and survival value. Generally, hybrids are more vigorous and high-yielding as compared to their parental lines as well as commonly grown high-yielding varieties. China is the pioneer in development and large-scale use of hybrid rice. First commercial rice hybrids in China were released in 1976. The current acreage under hybrid rice in China is around 18 meter per hectare of the total rice area of 29 meter hectare, greater than 60% of the total rice area. The average yield of hybrid rice in that country was 30.8%, higher than conventional rice varieties from 1976 to 2008. Hybrid rice has helped China to save rice land for agricultural diversification while reducing rural poverty. In our country, though the self-sufficiency in rice production was achieved during 1980s with the large-scale cultivation of semi-dwarf high-yielding varieties and associated management technologies, a plateauing of yield levels of high-yielding varieties was noticed during the last 2 decades, which resulted in the stagnation of rice production. To sustain the self-sufficiency in rice with an additional production of 1.5 million tons of rice every year, new and proven technologies like hybrid rice needs to be adopted in a larger scale. Encouraged by the success of hybrid rice technology in enhancing the rice production and productivity in China, the Indian Council of Agricultural Research ICAR initiated a national program for development and large-scale adoption of hybrid rice in the country in 1989, and as a result of concerted research efforts over last 2 decades, more than 40 hybrids are developed and released for commercial cultivation in different rice-growing states of the country. Lesson 2. Rice hybrids released in India. The following rice hybrids are released in our country during the period from 1994 to 2009. Lesson 3. Genetic system of developing rice hybrids. All the rice hybrids in the country are developed by using the cytoplasmic genetic male sterility and Fertility Restoration System (CMS) or the 3-line system. This system involves CMS or A-line, a maintainer or B-line, and a restorer or R-line. Since 3 lines are required for the production of a hybrid, this is popularly called as the 3-line system. Lesson 4. Area under hybrid rice in India. During the year 2009, hybrid rice was planted in an area of 1.3 million hectare, and an additional rice production of 1.5 to 2.5 million tons was added to our food basket through this technology. More than 80% of the total hybrid rice area is in Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Punjab and Haryana. Government of India is popularizing hybrid rice in the country by supporting extensive compact block frontline demonstrations and training programs organized through Directorate of Rice Research (DRR) network involving state agricultural universities, SAUs, departments of agriculture, non-government organizations, NGOs, etc., and training programs organized through Directorate of Rice Research DRR network involving state agricultural universities, SAUs, departments of agriculture, non-government organizations, NGOs, etc. Module 2. Hybrid Rice Cultivation. Objectives. At the end of this module, we will understand in what aspects cultivation of hybrid rice differs from that of high-yielding varieties. Optimization of cultivation package. Package for cultivation of hybrid rice. Lesson 1. Differences between hybrid rice and HYVs. Cultivation of hybrid rice differs from that of high-yielding varieties in few important aspects given below. Since hybrid seeds is costlier, Rs 75 to 150 per kg, lower seed rate of 15 kg per hectare is recommended in case of hybrids, unlike in varieties where 40 to 50 kg per hectare seed rate is being used. A thin and sparse nursery is raised for hybrid crop using only 15 to 20 grams per square meters of seed bed, as compared to 30 to 40 grams per square meters in case of high-yielding varieties. Planting of single seedling per hill having 3 to 4 tillers is recommended for hybrids as compared to 4 to 5 seedlings per hill planted in case of varieties. The total quantity of fertilizers to be applied is same for the hybrids and varieties, but hybrids are more efficient in utilizing the applied nutrients. It is recommended to apply nitrogen in 4 splits for hybrid rice, the last one at heading stage, unlike the 2 or 3 splits in HYVs and potassium in 2 splits. Lesson 2. Optimization of cultivation package. The package for cultivation of hybrids is more or less similar to that of high-yielding varieties except the nursery management and planting density in main field. Since the cost of hybrid seed is higher, there is a need to economize on seed quantity used for sowing. Hence, only 25 to 30 grams of seed per square meter is to be spread uniformly while sowing in the nursery bed. Sparse sowing is very important and it helps to obtain healthy vigorous seedlings with 3 to 4 tillers within 20 to 25 days for planting. Lesson 3. Package for cultivation of hybrid rice. Activity. Requirement. Seed rate 12 to 15 kg per hectare. Speeding density in nursery. Requirement 25 to 30 grams per square meters. Spacing. Requirement 15 by 15 or 20 by 15 centimeters. Seedling or hill. Requirement 1 or 2. Nitrogen level. Requirement 120 to 150 kg per hectare based on soil fertility and local recommendation to be given in 4 splits. Phosphorus and potassium. Requirement 60 is to 60 kg per hectare. Potash to be given in 2 splits. Plant protection. Requirement need-based. With good management yield advantage of 1.0 to 1.5 ton per hectares, can be obtained by cultivation of hybrids as compared to the high-yielding varieties under the same set of growing conditions. Hybrid seed cost is the only additional expenditure incurred in cultivation of hybrids. The hybrid seed is sold generally at the rate of around Rs 150 to 180 per kg. Hence, Rs 2,200 to Rs 2,700 is spent towards seed cost for 1 hectare. In case of high-yielding varieties, farmers use 40 to 50 kg seed per hectare obtained at the rate of Rs 15 to 20 per kg. Hence, additional seed cost for hybrid works out to be about Rs 1,600 to 2,000 per hectare. Additional yield obtained through cultivation of hybrids is 1.0 to 1.5 ton per hectare at the market price of Rs 10,000 per ton of paddy. Additional income obtained is Rs 7,000 to Rs 10,000 per hectare. Hence, after deducting the additional cost towards seed of Rs 2,000, the net profit by cultivation of hybrid rice is Rs 8,000 to Rs 12,000 per hectare. Module 3, Hybrid Seed Production. Objectives. At the end of this module, we will understand procedure of cytoplasmic genetic male sterility (CMS), optimum package for hybrid rice seed production and CMS multiplication, synchronization of parental lines, roguing, promotion of exertion of panicle, application of gibberellic acid, flag leaf clipping, supplementary pollination, harvesting, threshing and processing, seed drying, economics of hybrid seed production. Lesson 1. Hybrid seed production and cytoplasmic genetic male sterility (CMS) procedure. The existing rice hybrids used in commercial production in India are developed by using cytoplasmic genetic male sterility and fertility restoration system (CMS) system. This system involves 3 lines, namely cytoplasmic genetic male sterile line (CMS) or A line, maintainer B line and restorer R line. Lines for developing rice hybrids. Hybrid seed production using the CMS system involves the following 2 steps. Production of A line A multiplied by B. Production of hybrid seed A multiplied by R. The B and R lines are multiplied in the same way as inbred varieties. Thus, the procedure of hybrid rice seed production, in which 2 different lines including male sterile lines, seed parent, and restorer lines, pollen parent, are planted alternatively in a certain low ratio in the same field, and the outcross seeds are harvested from the male sterile plants, differs from that of inbred varieties, in which only 1 line is grown and the cell-fed seeds are harvested. Therefore, in the whole process of hybrid seed production, it requires a set of complicated techniques centering on raising the outcrossing rate to obtain a high seed yield. Through extensive trials on different components like suitable locations, seasons, planting time, planting geometry, low ratios, GA3 application and supplementary pollination, etc., a package for production of hybrid seed was optimized. A summarized version of the package is given below. The appropriate season for large-scale seed production is Rabi, dry season, due to favorable weather conditions such as bright sunshine and absence of continuous rainy days during flowering period, and moderate wind velocities to favor cross-pollination. The ideal locations for seed production should have well-drained fertile soils with assured irrigation facilities with a mean temperature of 25 to 30 degrees centigrade, relative humidity of 70 to 80%, and no continuous rainfall during flowering period. Large-scale hybrid seed production in India is concentrated in Karimnagar and Warangal districts of Andhra Pradesh. Synchronization of parental lines. Male and female parental lines of most of the hybrids differ for their days to flowering by a few days to almost 20 to 25 days. This difference in flowering also varies from season to season, location to location, and from year to year. Because of these unpredictable variations, there are problems in obtaining proper synchronization of flowering of parental lines. To overcome this problem, it is necessary to meticulously record data on flowering of parental lines at each locations or seasons in pilot studies and accordingly plan for large-scale seed production. Lesson 2. Roguing, exertion of panicle and application of GA. Roguing. Roguing is the removal of undesirable rice plants from the hybrid seed production plots. Undesirable rice plants are those plants either in A or R line rows that differ from plants that are true to type. Roguing helps to prevent the off types from cross-pollinating the true to type A line plants and thus enhancing the purity of hybrid seed. The undesirable plants come from many sources. They may be voluntary plants from the previous crop. Contamination due to improper isolation also results in the occurrence of off types. Admixing during the process of harvesting, threshing, packing and handling are also other sources from which the off types occurred. Therefore, due care is to be taken to remove the off types during the cropping season. Roguing can be done at any time during the crop stage. Off-type rogues can be removed whenever they are identified. Earlier the better. The most important stages for roguing are at maximum tillering, flowering and just before harvesting. Roguing before harvest. Remove plants that have normal seed set in A-line rows. Remove off-type plants that have difference in grain characters like grain shape and size, glooms color or the presence or absence of awns. Promotion of exertion of panicle. Most of the male sterile lines based on wild abortive WA cytoplasm have imperfect exertion of panicle, with the result as much as 15% spikelets remain enclosed in the flag leaf and are not exposed for outcrossing. Through following methods, the exertion of the panicles can be promoted to a great extent. Application of gibberellic acid, GA3. It is an efficient and effective growth hormone which stimulates the cell elongation, thus can be used to enhance panicle exertion in CMS line. Besides, GA3 has the following favorable effects. Increases the duration of floret opening, increases stigma exertion and receptivity, promotes plant height, influences flowering and hence flowering in parental lines can be adjusted, widens the flag leaf angle, promotes exertion and growth rate of secondary and tertiary tillers. In hybrid seed production plots of rice, 5 to 10% panicle emergence stage is most appropriate for first spraying 40% and the remaining 60% of GA3 should be sprayed on the following day. The ideal time for spraying is from 8 to 10 am and from 4 to 6 pm. Spraying should be avoided during cloudy weather and when the windy velocity is high. A dose of 45 to 60 grams per hectare of GA3 is optimum. The hormone does not dissolve in water and it should be dissolved in 70% alcohol. 1 gram of GA3 in 25 to 40 milliliter of alcohol. Lesson 3. Flag leaf clipping and supplementary pollination. Flag leaf clipping. Normally, the flag leaves are erect and longer than the panicles and they come in the way of easy pollen dispersal, thus affecting the outcrossing rate. The clipping of flag leaf helps in free movement and wide dispersal of pollen grains to give higher seed production. The flag leaf should be clipped when the main combs are in booting stage. Only half or 2/3 portion of flag leaf should be removed. However, flag leaf cutting is not advisable in the plots infested with diseases as this operation may spread the disease further. Supplementary pollination. Rice is basically a self-pollinated crop and hence there is a need to go for supplementary pollination in order to enhance the extent of outcrossing. Supplementary pollination is a technique of shaking the pollen parent so that the pollen is shed and effectively dispersed over the A-line plants. Supplementary pollination can be done either by rope pulling or by shaking the pollen parent with the help of 2 bamboo sticks. Timing and frequency of supplementary pollination is very important. The first supplementary pollination should be done at peak anthesis time, that is, when 30 to 40% of the spikelets are opened. This process is repeated 3 to 4 times during the day at an interval of 30 minutes. Supplementary pollination has to be done for 7 to 10 days during the flowering period. Lesson 4. Harvesting, Threshing and Processing, Seed Drying and Economics. Harvesting, Threshing and Processing. From the point of view of maintaining high purity, extreme care is needed while harvesting, threshing and processing of the hybrid rice plots. Seed drying. Seed drying helps seeds maintain their ability to germinate and their vigor for a longer period. Drying controls mold growth and the activity of the other organisms that reduce the quality of stored grain. Drying reduces seed discoloration. Seeds can be safely stored when they have been dried to a moisture content of less than 13%. Economics of hybrid seed production. The hybrid rice seed production is fast becoming a lucrative proposition for entrepreneurial farmers. With the average seed yield of 1.5 to 2.5 ton per hectare at an average procurement price of Rs 30 to 40 per kg. The gross returns are Rs 60,000 to 80,000 per hectare. The cost of seed production is around Rs 25,000 to 30,000 per hectare. Hence, the net profit by undertaking hybrid rice seed production works out to be Rs 35,000 to 50,000 per hectare, and hybrid rice growers are benefited substantially. Besides, hybrid rice seed production generates additional employment for 60 to 80% days per hectare, particularly for rural women in activities like supplementary pollination, roguing, etc. Module 4. Grain Quality. Objectives. At the end of this module, we will understand cooking quality parameters, Basmati rice hybrid, hybrids for southern India. Lesson 1. Cooking quality parameters. The cooking quality preferences vary from region to region. The quality in rice will have to be considered from the viewpoint of milling quality, grain size, shape, appearance and cooking characteristics. A hybrid should possess high turnout on whole grain, head rice and total milled rice with varying length and breadth ratio ranging from 2.5 to 3 millimeters and medium 5.5 to 6.6 millimeters to long slender greater than 6.6 millimeters translucent grain, intermediate gelatinization temperature GT and amylose content AC. Besides this, high quality rice like Basmati should have lengthwise expansion without increase in girth coupled with distinct aroma. The rice hybrids have grain quality features either better or on par with that of popular varietal checks like Jaya, IR64 and Annada, which are grown in different parts of the country. Most of the hybrids have long slender grain type. Lesson 2. Development of Basmati rice hybrids. Using the Basmati quality parental lines, CMS and Restorer lines developed at Indian Agricultural Research Institute, IARI, New Delhi, the hybrid Pusa RH10 was developed and it was released by CSCCSN and RV in July 2001 for commercial cultivation in the irrigated ecosystems of Haryana, Delhi and Uttaranchal. It has excellent grain quality, is early duration hybrid maturing in 115 days as against 135 days taken by the best check variety Pusa Basmati 1 with 40% higher yield. By virtue of its earliness, it is suitable for planting after the onset of monsoon without any yield reduction and has high per day productivity. With the release of Pusa RH10, the Indian Agricultural Research Institute and the Indian Council of Agricultural Research get credit of developing the world's first superfine grain aromatic rice hybrids. Lesson 3. Development of hybrids for southern India. A perusal of the area covered under hybrids indicates that hybrids have not made a dent in the southern region. It is because of the fact that people in southern India prefer medium slender grain premium quality rice like BPT 5204, but the existing hybrids are long grained and sticky. Recently, Directorate of Rice Research Hyderabad has developed a hybrid DRRH3 and it is superior to BPT 5204, the most popular variety with medium slender grain quality, both in terms of yield and grain quality traits. This hybrid has been released in 2009 by CSCSN and RV for commercial cultivation in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa and Uttar Pradesh. It is the first medium slender grain BPT quality hybrid released in the country. Module 5. So far what we have learnt. By now, you are able to develop comprehension about hybrid rice technology. We have developed various insights and appreciate the need for e-learning course on hybrid rice. Understood various topics like what is hybrid rice, the pioneering country in hybrid rice research, Hybrid Rice Research Network in our country, rice hybrids released in our country, genetic system of developing rice hybrids, area under hybrid rice in our country. In what aspects cultivation of hybrid rice differs from that of high-yielding varieties, optimization of cultivation package, package for cultivation of hybrid rice, procedure of cytoplasmic genetic male sterility, CMS, optimum package for hybrid rice, seed production and CMS multiplication, synchronization of parental lines, roguing promotion of exertion of panicle, application of gibberellic acid, flag leaf clipping, supplementary pollination, harvesting, threshing and processing, seed drying, economics of hybrid seed production, cooking quality parameters, basmati rice hybrid and hybrids for southern India.